Lee Mendelsohn and Bill Melendez called my mother at home and said, "We liked your son's voice test and we want him to come back for another one in San Francisco." My mother's like, "Who are you?"
Autobots transform and roll out.
Everyone loves it.
Princess Peach or Toad.
Raphael.
Like, what am I watching, man?
Hey guys, we're here with Streampunk Entertainment, aka Tales on the Film Set, and I've got two wonderful guests with us today. We're gonna start off with Duncan Watson, aka Charlie Brown, and you may know him from products like Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown, You're a Good Sport, Charlie Brown, and Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown.
Yes, sir.
And how are you doing?
Great. I'm doing great. It's a very good Saturday night.
Yes. And then we have the beautiful, the one, the only, Patricia Pat, aka Peppermint Patty.
Oh, go on. No, really, go on. Tell me how pretty I am.
Listen, I love your hair. It's fantastic. Tell me what your secret is there.
You've got products like You're the Greatest, Charlie Brown. She's a Great Skate, Charlie Brown, and Boy Voyage, Charlie Brown.
Bon voyage and don't come back.
Bon voyage.
And then she was in two projects that's not Charlie Brown related, but For Keeps and Party Line, which I want to talk about later on.
Okay.
And how are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Yay.
I had a nap today.
Oh, that's very essential.
That's two of you.
Right? I
had a nap too.
Three of you, man.
Sorry, Duncan.
I'm going to catch up tomorrow.
I had homemade soup and homemade bread.
Nice.
Wow.
I know.
That sounds like a real stellar day.
I made a loaf of bread. I'm very proud of myself.
A sweet bread or a bread?
A bread.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So, like a bread machine too?
Yeah, I borrowed one from a friend.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the smell of fresh bread, there's just nothing like it.
Yes.
It was pretty spectacular. Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, so go ahead, Robs.
I was going to say, the way I want to start this, and this question will be both of y'all. What was the first introduction to Charlie Brown for both of you guys?
Just why don't you go first?
I'll go first. Okay. So I started watching Charlie Brown with my family when I was a kid. It's funny to think about it now because we weren't a particularly close family. We did theater together, and a couple of times a year we would get together and we would watch Peanuts, The Sound of Music, and The Wizard of Oz. Those are what we watched. And we would all gather around the TV. My mom would get Jiffy Pop popcorn, and we were each allowed to get one of those king-sized candy bars. We got our own choice. There were 5 kids in my family. We didn't keep candy in the house. And so that was my introduction to Charlie Brown was, the Christmas special and the Thanksgiving special and the Halloween special. So that was it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about you, sir?
So for me, it was a self-discovery. I mean, I was very interested in two things in the newspaper when I lived out in California. I liked the sports section and I liked the comics. And of course, the strip was published every day. And I remember we had a really neat writing assignment in the 2nd or 3rd grade where they gave us peanut strips, but they had blacked out the words, and then you were to create your own words to sort of make your own sort of peanut strip. And I thought that was so fun. Of course, because there was the specials, of course. But I mean, there was a couple before my first one was Be My Valentine, and some notable ones, of course. And and they were specials in the sense that they came on once a year. And in the TV guide they would advertise it, so you would sort of look for it because it was literally they would buy a print ad saying Charlie Brown Christmas or It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, and so it was it stood out because I mean of course when you were that age the TV guide was everything, it was the only way you knew it was on TV.
Yeah.
And and if you didn't know, you couldn't be at the TV at the time you needed the TV, because you couldn't watch it again. It wasn't going to come on again until the next freaking year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's no DVR, VCRs back then.
yeah,
No.
nothing like that. Right. I mean,
Nothing.
I actually have a scrapbook where
Mm.
when we set it up for Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown, because we wanted to take pictures all throughout the thing, with just little little screenshots, and we also wanted to capture my name on the television because we were like so excited about that.
Sure.
And it was so funny because I have a scrapbook that has these pictures from way back in 1975.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I'll have to show it to you
My
sometime,
time.
Patricia. Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah,
show that
that'd
to
be
you sometime.
great.
It'd be pretty cool.
Does it feel like it's been that long?
Oh gosh. I mean, it's a lifetime ago. I mean, really.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the memories to me are super
Yeah.
clear. Super clear.
Yeah, I have this weird thing when I watch the shows where it's almost like there's two things going on at the same time. I can watch the show and be in the recording studio at the same time.
Mm.
Like they sort of overlap each other.
Mm.
Because I'll hear some line and remember Bill laughing about the way that I did it, or some other thing that comes to mind, and then I'm suddenly in the studio. It's very strange.
Yeah, see, that's the funny thing about this industry. I've only been in 15 years, but you have these such vivid memories, and you look back and it's like, how has it been that long? It doesn't feel like it's right here in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also don't feel my age either.
Sure.
And uh, maybe at some point it'll catch up to me and I'll actually feel old, but
But it is
I
not this
just
day.
not today, not yesterday. Very rarely do I actually feel like I'm the age that I am.
Well, I'll tell you,
So,
going to the Comic Cons is something that can make you feel young. That's, I mean,
Mhm.
meeting with the fans and
right?
feeding off their enthusiasm. It's
Yeah.
a trip. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is uplifting.
Yeah.
I love them. I absolutely love them. I've talked to other actors that wish they didn't have to go to them,
Yes.
and I
Mhm.
I just look at them like that's the strangest thing I've ever heard, because it's where I feel most at home nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
I
Well, I
think
Um,
a
mean,
lot of
it's fun. It's fun to connect with people who understand that the characters that Schulz created are relatable. I mean,
yeah.
whether it's in triumph or tragedy or loneliness or happiness or whatever, there's all these relatable things that come up in people's own lives. They have these characters in one way or another in their lives, and so across the spectrum, there's this relatability, and that's why it's such genius.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Do you think they're too mean to Charlie Brown, though? Do you think they got to lay off a little bit? I mean, the kid's in the Junior Olympics. He goes to France.
Yeah, but
he came in second in the spelling bee.
but every once in a while, Charlie Brown actually wins something. I mean,
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
of the ones I was in, you're a good sport, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown actually wins the race, and and
Spoilers.
it's a funny victory, but it's quite a race. But it's actually modeled after Craig Schultz's life. I found this out when I met Craig Schultz a couple years ago at a event for Peanuts at the San Francisco Giants Stadium a couple years ago for a baseball game, and got to meet Craig Schultz and talk to him. And turns out that one, "You're a Good Sport, Charlie Brown," was modeled after Craig Schultz's life, who was a motocross racer. Which I just thought that was such a great piece of trivia to have, and then have him tell me it was his favorite Charlie Brown one. It was just like I was just like, that's amazing, because that's a pretty obscure one.
Is that the
Yeah.
one where he wins like 5 free haircuts, even though his dad's a barber?
Yes, I think so. Yes, yes, that's exactly right. Yes, that's right. Good memory.
The truth is that I think most people at some point in their life feel like their life is going like Charlie Brown's.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
just it
100%.
doesn't matter what you do, how hard you work, somebody's pulling that damn football from you.
Yeah.
I mean, I joked about it earlier, like I just did this like huge milestone thing where I paid off all my credit card debt a week ago. And today I was told I need a new air conditioner and it's $11,000.
Ah,
And it's like, okay, there's the
Well, you'll
football.
see Patricia Pat at every convention next year now.
Yeah. She will be flying all across all 50 states.
Right? I'll be doing 2 shows in one day.
Exactly.
Different waitresses. But
And I just feel like at some point all of us feel that way. All of us have had to deal with a Lucy.
Mm.
So many people have ADHD. And so all of these characters are just so relatable, and I love that about it.
mm.
And sorry,
Yeah,
you're gonna
go
say
ahead.
something, Duncan.
well, then as the bonus of it all, Vince Guaraldi's music going to so
Mhm.
much of the shows. I mean, what
Right?
what a combination. I mean, just they were just so creative and just understood what was going to work. And I know that they had lots of debates over the years about some of the different shows in terms of which direction things should go, particularly the Christmas one with the
Yeah.
Linus speech.
Mhm.
But it's just interesting how they would work through it. And then they basically had some faith that that their ideas would work. And gosh, I mean, you can see by how it's 75 years in, and it's still going strong.
Yeah.
It's an absolute beautiful thing that they've created.
Yeah, agreed.
I was gonna say, and everybody else has a peppermint patty in their life.
Oh, hell
You go
yeah.
to Thanksgiving,
Oh,
and you have a
Oh,
peppermint patty
oh,
in your life. You better make sure you have that turkey and that pumpkin pie, because if you bring some popcorn
Yeah,
and some
jelly
jelly
beans,
beans
popcorn.
and
that
popcorn,
honestly, that is my least favorite of all of the shows,
Mm.
simply for how she talks about that. Where's the turkey, Charlie
yeah,
Brown?
come on, Chuck.
Where's the, like,
Mm,
she's so rude about it,
but
and
she was being about that, yeah. But she's
but
not like that normally.
It's
but
like,
she's
this is not
not like that
representation of my
normally.
character.
Yes.
And then the kicker, and I guess I didn't realize this growing up, you have to like watch the actual credits on that, because the kicker, you see Snoopy and Woodstock. Snoopy's the one that's eating the turkey and
Yes,
the pumpkin pie.
that's right.
And
Right?
it's like that little weasel, he helped make all this food, but they had the turkey and the pumpkin pie, and that peppermint patty would have never complained.
True.
Yeah, but
Very
the
true.
one thing that struck me about that picture was that Woodstock sitting at that table with
Yes.
Snoopy's, and and they're about to eat a bird.
Is this cannibalism?
Exactly. I would think that would be a little disturbing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's funny. I never thought about that.
I just picked that up the other day, honestly.
Oh, that's funny. So what is both of y'all's, and if it's the one you've been in, that's okay too. What are both of y'all's favorite Charlie Brown project that has came out?
What I mean, you mean which show was
Yes,
the best?
like which
Yeah,
special
yeah,
or
yeah. So clearly my first one, Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown, that came out in 1975. The theme of the show I thought was really great. Charlie Brown being so enthusiastic about all the Valentines he was going to get. He's going to bring 2 briefcases to school, and showing all that big optimism. And then he, turns out he doesn't get a single Valentine after all. And then towards the end, I won't spoil this ending,
yeah.
but let's
Don't
just say
spoil
that
this ending for me.
Charlie Brown's a rough day, but it all ends well, and as they all do, and Charlie Brown perseveres. But yeah,
We
that
wouldn't
that
want
one
to spoil
I
something.
like Charlie Brown's optimism. That's I want to mimic that in my life. More optimism. So
Yeah.
good old Charlie Brown, keeps plugging away.
And that's why he brings 2 briefcases to every convention now.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly right. Yep, absolutely. I'm
Visualize and
always
manifest.
optimistic. Yeah, yep.
So there are moments in both Christmas and Halloween that are just so classic.
Right.
I've Got a Rock.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
What I love
Three
about
times.
that is 3 times. What I love about that moment is nobody knows it's Charlie Brown.
Mm.
He's completely covered. It's just that his costume is so bad that every neighbor goes, "Oh, this kid's a loser. He's getting a rock."
Oh, that is such a great gag. I swear.
Right?
That is such a great gag. Yeah,
And then
that really
and then
is.
Christmas, when Linus is doing his soliloquy and he says, "Fear not,"
Mm.
and he drops his
Mm.
blanket.
Yeah.
It just like,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
what?
Right. Yes.
What?
Right. Yep.
And I was
Yeah.
an adult and somebody told me about that moment and I was like, "No." And I went home and watched it and I was like, "That is brilliant.
Right.
Mm.
That
It
is
is. Yeah.
brilliant."
Yeah.
But my ultimate favorite scene of almost any television show, movie ever is not because I'm in it, but because of what happens. It's Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown,
Mhm.
and Snoopy as the World War I or World War II flying ace goes to a bar and he's knocking back root beers. And as he's doing it, they're playing all the songs that were,
Mm.
big hits of World War II.
Yes.
Sentimental Journey. And
Wow.
they start playing the music and he's, tapping his head. And all of a sudden he starts crying and it's the big, tears.
Yeah.
And then they go to Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and he's dancing. And it's the happiest, funniest 5 minutes of cinema I've ever
Mm.
seen. If I'm having a bad day, I'll be like, you know what? I need to watch Snoopy dance. And that's what I'll watch.
Now, can you
You
do
know,
the Snoopy dance? Your head, your head straight in the air. Next to all.
Yeah, I've got back problems. I guess I
Okay.
am old.
yeah,
You're not a day over 21.
that famous moment that Patricia just recalled, which is a wonderful recollection, and thank you for sharing that. Gosh, that brings back such good memories for me. But it's for me, it's skating with Snoopy on the
Mm.
ice, and to Vince Guaraldi's music, and it's just
Mhm.
it really is just a quintessential sort of feeling of skating, along with
Yeah.
Snoopy, and just the freedom that he exhibits, and the way that they drew the animation and combined it with the music. It was really special, and I love that's
Yeah.
almost like seasonal music to me for this time of year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong. Both of you have not worked on a project together, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
So
Well,
when
okay, there's
Well, actually, she's got a credit, so let's have it.
I
Okay.
don't actually have a credit in this
Oh, you
one,
don't?
but
Okay, but
in
you're in it.
Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown,
okay,
there is one line that I absolutely know is me.
Cool. All right, we are
And
connected.
so we are connected. And then in You're the Greatest, Charlie Brown, there is one line that I know is absolutely not me.
Interesting.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was one of those things where I was watching it and went, "That's me." And I went, "No, that can't be me. I'm not in that one." And I was like, "Nope." No, I played it back and I played it again and I listened to it back to back with the other voice and I was like, "That is me." I remember saying the line.
Hmm.
And then I did the same thing on You're the Greatest, Charlie Brown.
Wow.
Now, were these SAG projects or non-union? Obviously, what
SAG.
probably they were. Okay,
SAG.
so
Yeah.
you could follow
Thank
up on
you,
that.
SAG. Thank
Right?
you, SAG. Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best.
partly that
That
thing
was
all
the
the way
best
through.
investment I've ever made.
Yeah, and the
Right?
residuals that come from it. The 19-cent residual checks because someone in Bulgaria watched it.
Exactly. I mean, it's like finding money on the ground, but thank you, SAG.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Everyone
what?
about once a year we get a decent sized check,
Hmm.
at least one. And it's just like money from heaven.
It is
Just
crazy.
Free money. It's
it
free
just
money.
shows up.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
And
I
it's
did this
usually right
15
around
years ago.
Christmas.
I did this
Yeah.
15 years ago. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm due for some treks by now.
So when is the first time you both met, or do you remember?
Oh yeah.
New Jersey.
In New Jersey. Yep.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where
we
he
did
is.
New Jersey. We're not as bad as people think we are.
I was born in New Jersey.
That's right. You were Montclair, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
the
I used to live in
garden
Clifton, so.
the garden and petroleum oil state, New Jersey.
Jersey's got some nice spots too.
I've heard there are some beautiful spots in New Jersey. We had a toy company that reached out to us and brought us in, and it was kind of a weird private signing that was open to the public.
Yeah.
But we had like a preset amount of photographs that we were gonna sign, and then if people showed up, great. And we had a decent amount of people show up.
Yeah. That was
I mean-
very weird. That was my first one ever.
Yeah, that was not my first one, so it felt even weirder than it felt for you, because I was like, where are
Yeah.
the people, Chuck? Where are the
Right?
crowds, Chuck?
Right. Yeah.
Where's the pumpkin pie, Chuck?
But
the money was good.
These guys, the money was great, and these guys were so nice.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, and so and it was great meeting Duncan for the first time.
How many years ago was that?
Is that 4 now?
I
Close
think it
to
was
4.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
very long then.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And it's been an absolute delight. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. That she brings a lot of life to a show. She's got just a really outgoing, theatrical personality, and has got a lot of great stories, and we have a lot of fun together. It's fun to work together, meet the fans, talk to people about Peanuts, and what I find fascinating is that everybody sort of speculates how they would grow up. And people have their own ideas about it. And, we actually spend a considerable amount of time talking to each other at the cons between, talking to people, about like, well, what do you think Charlie Brown grew up like? And do you think, who did he marry? And what became of, all the characters? And it's just funny how everybody has their own interpretation of exactly how it goes.
Yeah. But we're right in our interpretation of what it would have happened.
First-hand knowledge inside here, basically. So what do you think happened to Peppermint Patty and Charlie Brown here? Let's age them out to age 40.
So
Patricia has a
my
theory
is that Peppermint Patty would have shown up at Chuck's work, which would be at a recycling center in New Hampshire, as it turns out. and she would have been like, "Hey, Chuck, what are you doing Friday night?" And he'd go, "I don't know." And she'd go, "Great, we're getting married. Meet me at the courthouse. Wear something other than that yellow shirt with the stripe on it. I'll see you there. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna have a football team." And then she'd walk away. And Chuck, having been single his entire life, would have gone, "Okay."
Yeah, would he have worn a yellow suit?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No. She said not to.
I said not to wear it. Now, I'm not saying he wouldn't have shown up in it, and she would have rolled her eyes and been like, "Chuck, really? Couldn't have gotten dressed up for one day?"
I'd show up in a Lamont Landers shirt. That's who I'd show up in. He is the bomb. If you've never heard of Lamont Landers, check him out. He is amazing guitarist and singer, up and coming guy.
Nice.
Oh, I've never heard of him.
So
he's got a voice.
Nice.
He can sing as well as you can.
Hopefully he sings better than I can.
No, I'm talking to Patricia. Patricia's a really good singer.
She is really good, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we got to hear her voice.
Okay, so basically that's your theory on this.
That is my theory.
Your Peanuts theory. And Mr. Watson, what do you got? Orthopedist. I can see like an orthopedist or something.
I think Charlie Brown. I agree with Patricia that grew up to be a public works employee, which is what it turns out that I turned out to be. But he really had a thing for the little redheaded girl. So
yes.
he would have gone after the little redheaded girl whose name was Heather. And
he would not have ever gone after her.
Well,
would
I mean,
not.
he was obsessed with her.
He
He
was
was,
obsessed with her,
I think you're
but he
wrong.
would
right,
have
right.
never.
But
I think
but
No.
it actually one of those shows they actually kiss. I think it's it's your first kiss, Charlie Brown. I think there's a
Yeah.
special called "It's Your First Kiss," and he kisses Heather. So that's just my theory. I mean, yours is equally plausible, really. But I mean, so of
there's
course
beef.
there's always going to be a question about hey, what was going on between Peppermint Patty and Marcy? I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
but
an unreasonable
Guy
question.
comments on that one too.
Schulz was very clear that Peppermint Patty was not gay.
Okay.
She was a
Yeah, no, that's
tomboy.
cool. I mean, I love how it's just whatever it is. What does it matter?
Mhm.
Well, true.
Yeah,
That's true.
they're just friends, and they like to hang out together, and they actually play off each other very well.
Yeah.
And not a lot of
And there's
nowadays without
Peppermint
being
Patty has a great relationship with pretty much everybody.
Mhm.
She does. Which
Marcy has a good relationship with pretty much everybody too.
yes.
A lot more mellow and laid back on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. One of the things I love about the show is that you really get a sense of what a friendship should look like.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
People are not always perfect. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to say the wrong thing. They're going to yell at their friend over toast and popcorn. But at the end of the day, they're still friends, and
Mhm.
they respect each other and they love each other. And I think that's missing in a lot of other television shows. You don't see how friendships should be.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's so many lessons in these shows, and when you really start diving into them, they really just thought outside the box in so many levels. There is one called "What Have We Learned, Charlie Brown?"
Hmm.
And it's actually a continuation of um, Bon Voyage.
Mhm.
And so they're still in France, and they go to the beaches of Normandy,
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
and Linus is telling the story of um of the battles that went on and what happened, and it's done in a very childlike so it's not overly graphic, um but it tells the story of what happened, and then they go to Flanders Fields,
Mhm.
and he reads the poem of Flanders Fields. And something that I didn't know, Flanders Fields was known for their white poppies,
Yes.
and they went and buried all of the servicemen who died there
Mhm.
because they couldn't get them home, and the flowers came up red afterwards. Yeah, because they
Wow,
changed the pH level of the soil by putting all the bodies there.
that's
Um,
crazy.
isn't that crazy?
Wow,
And
what a story.
at the very end of the movie, Linus says, "What have we learned, Charlie Brown?" And it just like after watching this whole thing, it
Mhm.
just hits you in such a way because we keep doing the same things over and over and over again.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thousands of
And
years.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
History repeats
And
itself.
I mean,
so
it's topical that we also have Ken Burns having come out with the American
Mhm.
Revolution documentary out right now on PBS, and
Yes.
wow, I mean, talk about the triumph of over tyranny of a king. It's a pretty interesting series, worth watching.
oh, okay. I haven't seen it. I haven't even heard about it.
I
So
did
thank
actually
you
Yes,
see
for that.
something about that. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
think
out
my wife
now.
may be DVRing it. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
check it out.
sweet.
So basically, if you guys had to pick, do you have a choice on what would be your? You can't. By the way, obviously, you can't say your own. That's cheating a little bit. But
Okay.
what would be your favorite Peanuts special? Or even if you can take it a step further, do you have a favorite individual strip?
Mm, mm.
That's a tough one. I give you that one. That's a tough one.
Duncan, I'll let you take that one.
Oh
gonna
boy.
defer. She's gonna consider those.
Gosh.
If you don't have a
Well, I mean,
script too much, it's fine. But like an individual special, Great Pumpkin, or
yeah. Well, I mean,
Mr. Eagle.
they're classics for a reason, right? I mean, and I don't want to go digging into the obscure, but I like the Easter Beagle,
So was my mom's
and
favorite.
it's just it's a light one. I mean, it's a super light one. It really features a lot of Snoopy, and I love Snoopy's little dances. He's going around with those colorful Easter eggs. It's just it makes you feel happy, and I like that. I like that. That was just really whimsical and makes me feel good.
Nice.
My favorite quote from all of it is, "My anxieties have anxieties."
Yes. Oh, that's great.
Relatable, I think, for many people nowadays.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Anxiety has anxiety. I like that.
Yeah. So
Right
that
now,
would
there's a
be
lot of it. All this tree needs is a little love.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, which
Yep.
you mean this tree right here?
Yeah.
Yes, I do
Which
mean that tree right
I
there.
thought it was such a bad little
couldn't
tree.
couldn't
A
we
little
all
love.
just use a little love?
Yes.
Yes, we could use a lot of love right now, and
You're
love
possibly a
will triumph.
psychiatrist. It only charges 5 cents.
Love always triumphs, and that's the theme of Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I had to show that off because speaking of conventions, because we were talking about conventions earlier,
Yeah.
these two people are hilarious at conventions and amazing. And I would know that because we just all got done just about 2 weeks ago now, which I can't believe it's already been 2 weeks.
Right?
The only Cajun Con, ran by Scott Innes, the voice
And
of
Nicole,
Scooby
don't
and
forget
Shaggy.
Nicole.
And don't worry, I was getting her. And Nicole.
Yes.
Sorry.
Cindy Innes is his wife. And
Yes.
she's lovely. Nicole is his partner, like his
Yes.
going to cons
Yes. Sorry.
partner. She does all the driving. She helps him set up. She helps him tear down. She's an amazing, amazing person. Her life is like crazy when you start talking to her about it.
It was funny. Every time I seen her at the convention, we would just yell at each other, "I know her!" And she'd be like, "I know him!" Yes. I love her.
That's
And
awesome.
I love the energy she brings to the convention.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, without her keeping Scott together, because she does do that at the convention, she helps him stay on track and stuff. And
Yes.
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 But yeah, so we went to Cajun Con, and I got to meet these two wonderful people. And it was funny is I technically had an interaction with both of these before even the show. One was a full-on interaction. The other one I found out after the night. And what I'm referring to is, so we went to Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
And I was hungry. We just got into New Orleans, and I said, you know what? I told my friend that came and helped me that we did a couple interviews and stuff. His name's Nick. We went to Olive Garden and went and ate. And all of a sudden we're sitting here, and I hear a voice that says, "Man, you couldn't even wait a day to see me at the con." And I look up, and it was the first time officially meeting this wonderful human down here. That we've been on the talks for like the last 2 years on on the messenger and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I look, and I was like, "Oh, hey!" And what gave it off that was her, because like I said, this was our first time meeting in person. She's wearing a Peppermint Patty merchandise. I was like, okay, that must be Peppermint Patty. It's good,
which was given to me by Scott Innes.
Yes, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so we got to talk a little bit. I got to talk to her, and then I was on my way back to the hotel. Then I see a comment later on that said from Duncan, and was like, "Hey, I saw you walking on the side of the road."
You're hard to miss, Robert.
Yes, exactly. When your buddy just walked, he's like, "I could have sworn I just saw Buddy the Elf walking down," and I was like, "Yep, that was me."
It felt like such a good omen. I mean, honestly, I'm pulling into this place. I'd had a really long day of travel. I was kind of weary, and I see Buddy the Elf walking down the street. I'm like, all right, I'm in my hood now. So
Yeah.
it was
You know
fantastic.
you're at Comic-Con when you see Buddy the Elf just walking around. You're like,
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
I absolutely love when people can let their freak flag fly, and it's great that we really get to see a great parade, at these cons. I mean, Cajun Con, oh my God! I mean, talk about a home run, Scott and your entire team, your partners. I mean, wow, you just absolutely crushed it. If
Crushed
you
it.
don't go to Comic Con any Comic Cons next year, check out Cajun Con next year because it's going to be even
yes.
bigger and better. And
Yeah.
they're going to do an awesome job. And it would be great to go back someday. But if next year, I already saw Lee Majors is coming, so it's going to be a great
Yes.
con.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, and
Nice.
Agreed.
man, the amount of people that were at this event, he had over 80 different people at this event, and
Yeah.
man, just to see everybody connect in the same room, or I got to for the first time be able to experience what we know as a green room for celebrities, and just to see everybody in the green room and stuff, and you see the little pods and little cliques, or you got a Power Ranger with a wrestler at the same table, it was kind of cool to see that
Well,
interaction.
the funny thing is like I was literally friends with 20 of the other people that were there. So it was
Right.
almost like old home week,
It was like a school reunion almost.
like every time I turned around, I was going, hey.
But it was crazy. We had wrestling legend Mick Foley come
Yeah.
over to our table and say,
Yes.
"We want to meet you guys." And
Right?
and we're like, "Oh my!" It was like I was like, "Are you serious right now? Like this is crazy." But so cool, nicest guy
Yeah.
you'd ever want to meet.
Oh yeah.
Just full of great stories. I mean, he is a really great storyteller,
Yeah.
and what a nice guy. It was such a pleasure and honor to meet the guy, and it was so humbling and flattering that he said, "We want to meet you guys," and it was so cool. Got a good picture
Yeah.
with him too.
And then you got
Yeah.
posted on the social media.
Right on.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
and what was funny about that picture is I had people go, "Isn't that Mick Foley? You took a picture with Mick Foley?" And I was like, Mick
took a picture
Foley
with
took
us.
a picture with us.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That was so fun. He's like, "Let's get a picture." Yeah, it was so awesome. Awesome guy. Really awesome guy.
Awesome guy. Yeah. Yeah. But it's been few and far between that I've gotten to a show and not thought these are some of the coolest people I've ever met. Not because of what they did, but because of who they are. I just have so much fun with the fans. I don't mind the travel at all. But meeting some of these people that I've met and connecting with them on so many levels is just a blast.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I gotta say, you guys did a good job with taking my money, taking it all.
You're welcome.
You guys did,
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you. So yeah, we got this signed by the wonderful Duncan, and he put his quote that he was saying, "All this tree needs is a little love."
Right on.
Then it was funny, and I'm calling Duncan out, but he didn't know, so it's okay that he didn't know, so that's his credit. But there was a certain Funko Pop I wanted, and I said, "Yo, are you gonna have any Funko Pops at your table?" And he's like, "No, probably not. They're a hassle to travel with," which I understand that they just magically appeared on your table afterwards. But
Right.
he had
Did.
the one that I wanted, which was the Charlie Brown with the actual tree, and we got it
Yeah.
Yay.
signed.
Yes.
And what I love about Duncan is he ran a buy one get one special. So you buy one item or bring your own item, you get another item signed for free. So and then they did this fun pop where we had all three of them sign: Lucy, Peppermint, and obviously Charlie Brown.
Yep.
And yeah, so
I love
it
that
was
one. The
nice.
little Woodstock on his head.
Yes. And then we
I
got
came home with all of those.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a great surprise from Scott. Thank you,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was funny because I came home with way more than I had anticipated, including an assistant.
Yes, Amanda, right?
Amanda.
That's right. Yes. What a great road trip story.
So Duncan had met Amanda at a previous show, and the person that she had come out to hang with for the weekend and be their handler ended up not being able to come to the show. So she and Duncan started talking, and it was like, well, I don't have any place else to be. So she came and sat with us, and we had so much fun. She was
Yeah, but
so
where's she
fun.
from? Tell them where she's from.
Yeah.
She's from the UK.
Right.
Yes.
She came all the way from the UK
Came
to
all the way to
Louisiana,
UK to
and then
Louisiana.
finds out when she lands that the person she's there to see isn't going to come to the show.
Brutal.
Right.
Yeah.
So she was not leaving. We were all leaving on Monday morning, and she wasn't leaving until Wednesday. And so 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, I had so much fun with you. And, it's almost a shame that it would be too much money for you to, change your flight and drive with me to Memphis and then to Nashville to home. And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, that'd be so much fun. And she goes, hang on a second.
So she starts texting me and says, I have this crazy idea coming. What do you think of this? And I'm like, I think you should go for it. So she's texting me while she's doing the research to find out if she can change the flight. And I'm watching her talk herself into it on this text thread.
Right.
And all the, but meanwhile, I'm like, I think I texted you, Patricia, and said, you guys are planning a road trip. How much fun is that? And so it just came together.
It did. And here was the craziest thing about it all. So she had booked one of those like excursion things through one of the booking sites, right? So she's thinking, well, I'm just out all the money, right? And she just bought herself another plane ticket home. But then she called just to ask. And they were like, oh, yeah, we can refund some of the money. And she was like, well, I made back some of the money. Then she goes down to the hotel, and the hotel's like, yeah, we can refund the money.
Nice.
So she actually saved money by doing this. We got after we said goodbye to Duncan on Monday morning, we got in my car, we drove for 6 hours, we drove straight to Graceland, went and ran around Graceland. Nobody else was there. It was basically just us, which I've been to Graceland before. It's usually shoulder to shoulder. It's packed.
Wow.
And we got to see all the new stuff that they've built around Graceland, because there used to be this ugly strip mall across the street, and they've ripped all that out.
Yeah.
And now it looks like Dollywood, which is fantastic. And then we got in the car. We went. I have friends that live in Memphis. They're darling people. I love them to death. And I was like, hey, you okay with me bringing a friend? They were like, yeah. So they brought us to Beale Street. We went to BB King's and had dinner.
Nice.
They paid.
No.
We get up, right? We get up in the morning, get back in my car, we drive home, and then we go to the Opry that night. And then the next morning we had breakfast with a mutual friend, and she got on her plane and went home.
So you kidnapped Amanda and then returned her.
I did. Yeah. But, it's one of those weird, like, connection things where, I've got a buddy for life now.
Yes.
If I'm going to go to England, I'm going to go, and I'm going to see her, and I'm going to spend time with her. And we've already made plans for her
Phil,
to
more
come.
likely.
Huh?
And Phil, more than likely.
Yes. So
we're following a love story together.
I know. It's really sweet.
It's so cute.
So it just like, these are the types of connections that people make at Comic-Cons that I just think are so incredibly special. And if you have any geek in you at all, you should start going to these things, because my friends laugh at me now because I was like, well, I'm not a geek. And they're like, yes, you are. They laughed really, really hard when I said I didn't know that I was a geek. They laughed way too hard at that.
Do you embrace it now, though?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Because I found my people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I've always felt a little awkward, a little, like, do people really like me, or are they just, pretending, or, and I don't get that feeling at all when I
Mm,
go to shows.
Hmm.
I fit in so well. And that's a really special thing, because I think we feel alone so much of the time. Um and so to be able to go to these shows and connect with people is really special.
sure.
Community.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
We'll give it
Community.
a couple more minutes. Go ahead,
and
Rob.
I was gonna say, speaking of Amanda, yeah, she was a sweetheart, and it looked like she was just already supposed to be at your guys' table. So it's cool to see like the behind the scenes, how she wasn't originally supposed to be at your table, and the
Yeah.
fact that she was. And yeah, she was a hoot. I
She
added her
dove
on
right
the.
in. She dove right in, and she
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
helpful. I mean, honestly, I would not have been able to do what I actually did without her help. I mean, it was a
Mm,
very
Oh yeah.
serendipitous thing that she arrived when she did, and her plans got to change. So we were very
Yeah.
fortunate, and she turns out to be an absolutely lovely person, and
Yeah.
just another bonus on the cherry on top of the Sunday that the whole weekend was. I mean, because it was fantastic, and getting to meet Robert was a lot of fun. I love how you
Yep.
inhabit your character. Honestly,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, you're
You have a buddy
you're
for life.
that's why it worked for Will Ferrell, right? He inhabited the character, and you do too. And I that's him. It works. It works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You know the
yes. Thank you
lore.
very.
You speak the language. You inhabit the character, and it works.
Yeah,
Method
and
acting for him.
I'm so excited because Monday. Speaking of method acting, Monday I am going to New York for the first time ever.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
and
please, just please, 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 do not, eat that gum.
we are going to that location. I know exactly where it
Yeah,
is.
but don't do it, because
So,
that's
But it's
just
free
that
candy,
just
Duncan. It's
that is
free.
Do you know
queasy.
how
Oh,
expensive Manhattan can be? You take food where you can.
Yeah, it's free
I
candy.
think you should go to the place where they have the world's greatest coffee, though.
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations, you did it. What's the
Yes,
best cup of coffee?
you have got to find that place and do that there.
We're
I
gonna be
mean,
looking.
you are going to video him all through New York,
I've
right?
got friends.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Scott will probably actually. Speaking of this, and this is news to Scott. I was planning on him probably filming us do some stuff when we meet each other when we go to the Rockefeller Center on Christmas Eve. We can definitely do some content there too as well. But yes, there will be content that I will be filming for my TikTok, for for Facebook, and I'll be definitely sending you both pictures.
Excellent.
Are you going
Gonna
to
go
go
to
to
New
the
York
Empire
City.
State and do all the buttons?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Empire State Building, and the first thing I'm gonna go up to the reception desk and say, "I'm here to see a Walter Hobbs. He's my dad," and just to see what their reaction is. So
I want to point this out. I want to put you obviously you came from Jersey. I live about 8 miles from Manhattan in this case. This is his first experience with New York City, and he is going full Buddy the Elf the entire trip and
yes,
staying in character.
that's all I'm wearing.
Now you know this area pretty well, what it can be like mentally for a lot of these people come the holiday.
Yeah.
We got odds right now about whether or not he's going to get mugged.
Oh no, he will absolutely will not get mugged. No mug. No, actually, in all honesty, there's a lot of people who do some weird stuff in New York City.
That is true.
It's gonna be just
I mean, there's
another one of
people
those.
that are in full-on Elmo costumes. I mean, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when are you gonna do this?
Monday, literally this coming up
Okay,
Monday.
so I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be really well received. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
a great seasonal greeting for
yeah.
people. I mean, you're not doing anybody any harm. You're not
Yeah.
invading people's space. You're just, a piece of the scenery that just happens to be like, really exuberant and fun and in the seasonal spirit. What's
Yeah.
wrong with that?
Nice.
We could all use
Exactly.
more of
Thank you,
that
Duncan.
right now.
And
Yeah, I
my
think
guess
it's going
is
to
a
go
lot of
great.
people. I think a lot of people
You're
will
going to
end
make
up
a lot of
wanting
people
to take a
smile.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking for that.
exactly.
And
You're going to make a
that's
lot of
the
people
point.
smile.
That's another
You got
reason why. Sorry.
you got to find a window to to lay in one of those store windows.
Yes. It's funny you mentioned that. Recently, I was at Scarefest, and So I
Ooh.
spent the night outside to meet Robert England, because that's this con. Robert England takes about 5 to 10 minutes with every single person, so therefore they can't fit as many people. And
Ah,
most VIPs basically got first dibs on meeting Robert. So the only way of me to actually be able to meet him was I spent the night outside. I was one of the first ones in the door, and I got to meet him. And the reason why I mention this is because I was basically up all night because it was kind of cold.
Mhm.
When we got inside, I fell asleep on the floor, and it was kind of a cuddled up position. But one of my friends, not knowing, took a picture of me, and I'll send you guys the picture because it's funny as they took a picture. And then I said, "Hey, does anybody have the picture?" She posted it. And somebody took that picture and photoshopped like the
Oh,
scene from when he's
oh,
laying in
that's
the window,
awesome.
and it looks pretty identical, and it just
Oh my
cracked
God,
me
that's
up.
great. Hey, I have a genius idea. I have a genius idea. You need to sing "Baby It's Cold Outside," Robert, in New
Yes,
York City, and
yes.
we just happen to have a pretty good singer right down here who could play the other part. I think you should record this.
Baby, it's cold
Wait. Time out. Hold it.
outside.
Hang on. We got to do this right here. We're going to do this right here. Let's see. We're going to put the. Actually, no, we're going to do it that way. There we go.
You have to have the lyrics. Do you know the
Yeah,
lyrics, Patricia?
I don't know the lyrics. Not well enough to be like,
we'll have to do this another time.
we will have to do
Yeah,
it another time because I
I
turned my phone
I
off.
really think you need to pull this off.
Yes, let's roll it.
I think this will work.
I did want to mention something because of peanuts and stuff. One
Blah 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 blah
Can
blah
you hear me
blah.
now?
Ah,
Yeah,
there
there
we
we
go.
Yes,
Okay.
there we go.
Yes, let's do
He suddenly
peanuts.
became an
Blah, blah, blah,
adult.
blah. I did. Speaking of peanuts, and one cool thing that's about to be coming out is in LA is the George Lucas Museum that's coming out. George Lucas, creator of Star Wars, obviously,
Yeah.
has this spaceship-looking museum that's in LA that opens up next year. And
Okay.
one of the cool things that they talked about is he's been collecting for over 50 years, and he will have original artwork and stuff from Peanuts displayed in the
Oh,
museum.
Wow.
cool.
And this is gonna sound weird, but it was so crazy. So George Lucas was there. The person that was moderating the panel was Queen Latifah.
Hmm.
And what was great is they mentioned Charlie Brown, and they said they were asking the audience, what is everybody's favorite Peanuts? And that was another person I spent the night outside for was George Lucas, so we could be the first one in Hall H for San Diego Comic-Con. We were the first one, so we had front row seats, my entire group that we made.
Cool.
And what was cool is I felt bad because the person behind me said it, and I knew Queen didn't hear her, so I yelled and I said, "The Great Pumpkin," because that's what they said, and I like that one too. And it was funny as I got a reaction. She said, "Hey, that's mine too," and it was so got like an interaction with Queen Latifah because of that. So I thought I would mention that to you guys because
That's cool.
obviously
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Well,
So
my movie Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown was released the same summer as Star Wars back in 1977. So I'll never
Wow.
forget seeing Star Wars in the theaters and that drive to hyperspace. Oh my God, what a revolution in filmmaking.
Right.
Yeah,
um,
Right.
that was
I didn't want
crazy.
to go. My friends all wanted to go, and I was like, I don't want to. There was some other movie I wanted to see. I have no idea what it was.
Yeah,
And like I remember that scrolling that came up, and I was like, oh, this is something different, and I
yeah,
loved it. Loved it. I loved all three of those first movies.
yeah. That was those were as rocking as the first time I ever heard Van Halen play the guitar. But have you ever seen those memes that people have where they have a piece of music, but it's it's a famous piece of music, but all the Peanuts gang is playing the music in the
Yes.
cartoon version.
Yes.
Yeah.
I absolutely love those things. Those things are so much fun. I mean, somebody spends a lot of time, and putting a lot of effort into these things, but I mean, it's the animation's kind of right on track with it, and it's great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, of
Those
course,
are
the
fun.
dancing and the dancing. How much fun is that? Right, exactly.
So
The hunched shoulders.
before we leave, because I know we're about to wrap this up very soon, I did want to ask Patricia there, and I know there was 2 movies, and we might edit this in post because I'm probably going to say which one wrong. You worked with a certain actress, and I think it was Party Line. It's not Party
Okay.
Line; it's For Keeps. You worked with Molly Ringwald. Do you have any
So
memories?
it was the movie For Keeps.
Okay, For Keeps.
But I worked with Molly in 1978 and 79 in a little play called Annie.
That's cool.
That's a cool piece of trivia.
She was Kate with the mouse. And I was Annie. And we did the show together for a year. She left right after I did to start doing The Facts of Life.
Yes. Because she was on the first season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have never known that trivia.
And that was years before anything John Hughes too. On top of that,
years before. Yeah.
Before Breakfast Club and
yeah. We were both 10 years old. We're like a few months apart in age.
It's crazy because you're only 21.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to be 21 again for anything. Yeah, so I've known Molly for a really, really long time. And then when we were 20 years old, we did For Keeps, and got to see each other again. She came through town. I live near Nashville. She was doing Sweet Charity. And so, I went backstage and said hello to her and met her now husband and their child. And that was when she just had one. She has 2 now. And this was probably 20 years ago.
Wow.
Because my daughter was maybe 4 at the time. So, we don't keep in touch or anything like that, but
that's
it's
so cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was looking through the movies and I saw Molly Ringwald and I said, I got to ask about Molly. I got to meet her at Rhode Island Comic Con because they did almost the full breakfast. At this one, they didn't have Emilio. I know Emilio just did his first convention at C2E2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to meet Molly and almost all the Breakfast Club. So I saw that. I was like, I got to ask her.
Nice.
So one last quick question for both of y'all. What is your favorite color?
Green.
It's always been green.
Green.
Okay.
Hey, there we
Couple
go.
of greens on that one.
Okay.
Oh, and
That's a routine question he has every time, by the way, and it's always there's never the same answer twice. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's crazy that you guys are both green. Back to that wedding question. Would you wear a green dress or would Peppermint Patty wear a white dress? Back to that scenario. I just never got to ask that earlier.
Well, I mean, if we're going for symbolism, then it's gonna be green.
Peppermint Patty's character's never been formal, so
yeah, I think she would have had like a green suit that
there
she
we go.
would have worn.
Yep.
That she would have bought like long before for some. See, I think she would have been like a high school football coach.
I honestly, I think that maybe that's true. What she would have been involved in physical education in some way for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think that we're talking. It would be a green swimsuit because Charlie Brown and Peppermint Patty would get married on a beach because that would be the place to get married.
There you go.
But you
And
said
where can these beautiful people find you on social media?
I am Patricia Pats - voice actor on Facebook, and Instagram is Patricia Peppermint Patty Pats. But I forget Instagram is there, truthfully.
use the Meta
Right.
use the Meta Business Suite and basically tag one to the other.
Yeah.
on Facebook, I'm at just Duncan Watson, and my picture has a picture of me on there with also Charlie Brown. So it's
Nice.
it's pretty easy to find. And then on Instagram, it's Slam Dunk with SLAMDUNC, because my name is Duncan. I got nicknamed that in college for a little while, and so I've always liked that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Scott, were you going to say something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I don't. I was saying, yeah, you talk about being married on a beach. Didn't you say earlier though that Peppermint Patty visited him in New Hampshire?
Right.
You got to hope that's in the summer then, because a beach
Yeah.
wedding
Well, I mean,
this time of year.
So it wouldn't be. It would be a destination wedding for sure.
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna hop on a plane. If we're gonna go to Vegas or something, we could just easily go down
Right.
to Cancun and do it there.
Yeah, I
There
mean,
you go.
California at this time of year, where they play volleyball on the beach at 8:00 at night. Maybe not so much San Francisco, but definitely like San Diego for sure.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Somewhere nice where the water's blue-green.
Fair.
There you go. Although
Respect.
technically we probably would still be in Santa Rosa, don't you think?
Hmm.
Yeah.
love this.
Is that really
I mean,
where it was based?
Well,
I mean,
he
is that-
never
is that where-
said.
Yeah, exactly.
He
'Cause-
he
'cause-
started it in Minnesota. He started the strip in Minnesota, but he was in Santa Rosa by the time the movies came out. So I would think they all grew up in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
And
As
if you
plausible
guys,
as anything.
right, if you guys haven't gone to the museum, the Charles M. Schulz Museum in Santa Rosa, make a trip. Go.
Sure.
It's really cool.
The funny thing is that I have my own theory about it, and because there's so much snow featured in the peanut strips and the TV shows, that I think
True.
it's an East Coast based troupe, and I think they're from New Jersey.
Man,
There we go.
Well, but like I said, I mean, he grew up
it
in
mimics
Minnesota,
it mimics
so-
I grew up for my first 6-7 years were in New Jersey, so it was very relatable in a lot of ways. The trick or treating, the neighborhood things, the pickup games of baseball. I mean, those were all my life experiences. That's why the characters are so identifiable. I lived with these people.
Yeah.
one thing I didn't get to ask you both too. I'm sorry. I know we said we were done with questions, but how did you guys get the role in the first place? That's kind of important.
The perfect Charlie Brown story. Do you mind if I go first?
Go first.
Okay, so I was in I think the fourth grade, either third or fourth grade at the Reed Elementary School in Tiburon, California, and I was at recess, and the bell rang, and it was time to go back to class, and I sort of was trudging back to class because I didn't want to go back to class because I liked recess, and there was a line outside of a classroom that was not my own, and I just thought that looked way more interesting than where I was going, so I just stood in the line. And I get to the front of the line, and they're like, "Hi, what character would you like to read for?" Because as if I knew what was going on. I was like, "I have no idea what you're all doing here." And they said, "Okay, well, fine. Sit down and read these lines." And I read 3 lines, took 20 seconds, and they sent me back to class. So I went back to class, didn't think a thing of it, didn't tell my parents about it. And 3 weeks later, the producers, Lee Mendelson and Bill Melendez, called my mother at home and said, "We liked your son's voice test, and we want him to come back for another one in San Francisco." And my mother's like, "Who are you?" She had absolutely no idea. Because, I mean, I hadn't told him about any of this. And so they had to explain what was going on. And, what was amazing about it was that they were going to pay me $50 to go back for another voice audition. And like $50 in 1973? Oh, that was
At
a
that age
fortune.
too. Yeah.
That was a fortune.
Yeah.
So I was more than happy to go into San Francisco to record for an hour and go back. And, it was from there, I did it two more times, $50. And then I got the contract. So it was, a really cool Charlie Brown origin story. I think it's so Charlie Brownish.
It's so Charlie Brown. I love that story. It makes me laugh every time. I just have this image of your mom standing downstairs, being on the phone and going, Duncan, what did
She
you
thought it
do?
was she thought it was a prank call. She thought it was a prank call.
Duncan,
love
are you going to random people again?
that.
That's
Yeah,
right, kids. Cut class. You may fall. You may land in your career.
Right? Right. So my origin story is that I was doing Annie. It was San Francisco. It was 1978, and Charles Schulz and his wife came to see the show because everybody came to see the show. And now I don't remember him coming backstage. Somebody else reminded me that he had been backstage. Now, if he was there in the first couple of days of the show, I had laryngitis or some sort of something, and I felt horrible opening night and like the first 2 or 3 nights. So totally could have been a fever and don't remember any of it. But he apparently came backstage and talked to my mom and said he wanted me to be the voice of Peppermint Patty. So that's
Cool.
how I got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
good
sly
story.
dog.
Right? Right? And it
Yeah.
was so like they picked me up from my hotel. I don't think my mom even came with me. They picked me up with a limousine from my hotel and drove
Nice.
me to the studio, and I got to hang out with them all, and I got to meet Mr. Schulz and the director and the producer Lee Mendelson and Bill Melendez, and just such awesome, kind, funny people. It really was an amazing experience. The thing that I look back on now and I'm just amazed by is they understood that we were kids and they celebrated that we were kids, but they still treated us with the respect that they would have given adults. And there's so many times when you were either treated like an adult, and then when you didn't act like an adult, they were shocked, and you'd be tired and hungry, and like people would be
But I
going,
need a
"What do you
Snickers
do?"
bar.
Um, and they just handled it all with perfection. And there's not a person that I've spoken to about their experience that doesn't say that it was just the loveliest time.
They were really, really, really amazingly kind,
Yeah.
creative, really nice, fun people to be around.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
I
Good
just
on
want
you.
to thank you both for being here so much. This has been a blast.
Thank you. I've had fun. What about you, Duncan?
This is good grief.
Good grief. There we go. There's the famous line.
I love it.
And what's Peppermint Patty's famous line?
You sly dog.
Yes. Well, guys, this is Tales from the Film Set, and we have Duncan, Patricia, Scott, and I'm Buddy the Elf, aka Robert Manick, and we will catch you later. Woo!
I know you.
Woo!